Joining us on the phone right now is Flora Duffy, and I believe her husband's with her as well.
I think Dan is in the room. I don't know if he's going to chat with us or not.
Good afternoon. Oh, in your case, good evening to you, Flora. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. Here in Stellenbosch, well, yeah, it's evening here.
It's evening there. I think it's just after 7 your time, because it's 1:15 here in Bermuda, so I think you're 6 hours ahead of us.
Yep, that's correct.
Other than that, how are things going for you thus far for 2019? The big day is April 27th here in Bermuda. We're here to defend your title. The course is the same. You've got 59 days left. How are you feeling?
I was feeling good until I heard there's only 59 days left. It feels like, 2 weeks ago it was 90 days, so time is really flying by. But it's going well here in Stellenbosch. This is where I've based myself the last couple of years to train this time of the year. Dan and myself, we have a house here. This is where, he spent a large part of his youth year, so we know the town quite well, and it's a great place to train, lots of triathletes in and out. Slowly finding my groove again and getting really excited for the event in Bermuda.
When you were here last year, it was probably the biggest sporting event Bermuda's ever seen a local athlete participate in and come first. So what are your expectations? Yes, we expect you to defend the title. As a defending champion, you want to win at all costs. So how are you now compared to last year this time?
Well, yeah, last year was probably like the race of my life and the experience of my life with everyone coming out to watch, the atmosphere. I mean, it was incredible. And people on the circuit, they still talk about how great it was racing in Bermuda. And for me, obviously, this time of the year is a little bit different than last time of the year. I was coming back from injury, whereas this time last year I had Commonwealth Games looming. So it's been a slightly different preparation. Not to say that, whether that's good or bad, but it's just different, and almost different preparation kind of keeps things interesting. So there's been a few different challenges along the way, but and I think in a pretty good place, and getting better every day. So keeping positive, and I'm taking a closer look at the countdown to make sure that I will be ready for April 27th.
Flora, injuries are always frustrating, but are you now back in love with the sport? I know you wouldn't have fallen out of love, but during injury time, a lot of people get frustrated because they can't do what they normally do. But have you got that bit back yet?
Yeah, of course. I mean, injuries are very frustrating, particularly when you get them, and this is how this is what I do, and this is my job, and so not to be able to do that because of an injury is incredibly difficult, especially for me. I was sort of riding high, and everything was going really well, and then it just suddenly stopped. So of course that's a lot to deal with and a lot to manage, sort of, mentally and emotionally, and then of course you have the physical side of actually trying to heal the injury. That was a tricky space to navigate, but I sort of just learned that I can't compare myself to others, who have gone through injury and healed quicker, or, whatever else. Just sort of focus on what I can do, be positive of the achievements, or, slowly being able to build back more and more each day, each week, and sort of just trust the process that, I'll get back there. It might just take a little bit of time, but part of the journey, as I've been told, and perhaps a little bit of forced rest for me wasn't the worst thing that could happen.
Now, we've seen that you've been doing some work to get back into that race mindset, having fun. We would consider fun because you're always smiling when you're doing stuff. But cycling, and I see some video of you running as well. If you had to grade yourself right now in preparation for the start of the 2019 season, what would you give yourself a grade of?
If I had to grade myself, I would probably put myself at a B. B, yeah. Super fit, but Toledo and be competitive at the start of the race season, which is good. I think it's a long season, and so it's very hard to maintain like a for the entire season. So coming in with a little slower build is actually, I think for me, that's been very beneficial. And to be honest, me, I'm taking more longer look, mostly with my start set on Tokyo 2020. So everything is sort of geared towards that in terms of what I'm doing now.
Well, one thing's for sure, you had Bermuda smiling, and they'll still be smiling come April 27th, just to see you on the start line after last season. But as you've already said, your main focus is gearing towards that Tokyo 2020. How do you plan to strategize this year in making sure that you have enough in the tank for the start of next year going into that 2020 games?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to, you can't make this year too stressful because obviously anytime in an Olympic year, everything is exponentially more stressful. So for me, in a way, building back from injury is taking off all the pressure because for me, it's just building back healthy and strong and getting back to my best over the course of this year. And of course, I'm going to target one or two races that I would like to be better at, but to me, it's just about, finding my feet again, enjoying the racing, wanting to be there. And if you're in a good place, that tends to translate into good racing. And just be positive and excited about this amazing build that's coming up, an amazing experience that, preparing for an Olympics is.
Now you've had that time off. I don't know if you have watched a few of the races towards the end of last year and what the World Cup events that have taken place thus far. But what do you see a little different in the competitors thus far since your time off coming into this year?
I watched a few of the races, but I also kind of skipped a few just because I wanted a little bit of a break from triathlon. It's definitely slightly different racing. I guess a few of the girls have told me that the bike is not quite as hot when I'm not there. So it's allowed a few others to sort of shine and change the dynamics of their racing. And the interesting thing is you have success and confidence in that one or two individuals that perhaps weren't on the podium now that are, their confidence to race hard and well can sort of shift the dynamic. So I think when I go back in, it will be interesting to see where everybody's at and how the racing is played out. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting back in there and trying to shake the race up.
We also must congratulate you, Flora, because the Bermuda Triathlon Association held their annual prize giving awards, and you were obviously voted as the elite female athlete of the year. So again, congratulations to you. No added pressure, right?
No. But thank you. It's always nice to win that award.
As for your competitors, you've had a chance to see what they've been going through in 2018. Now 2019 is just around the corner. Have you had a chance to talk to them and study them and what their expectations or competitions can be like, especially when you're coming home for the April 27th event?
Well, what's really interesting for a lot of countries because Olympic qualification has started. So for a lot of the bigger nations, for example, if you look at the Great Britain team or the U.S. team, they have selection for their Olympic team this year. So it's actually quite a stressful year for them, which is really difficult to have two quite intense years back to back. So for them, it's definitely a tricky year. But then in terms of Bermuda, I know they're all excited to come back. Everyone's really enjoyed the hard, challenging course, and of course how beautiful Bermuda is. She's offering such a unique race experience. So I think, everyone's very excited, and it'll be an interesting year to see how it unfolds.
Speaking with a couple of the competitors last year after the race, they said that they were impressed with Bermuda. Yes, the beauty of it, but the course itself, they thought it was a very challenging course, but it was very unique, different compared to other countries. Any reason behind that? I don't know. It'd be interesting. I haven't spoken to anyone in that
sort of detail. But I think, Corkscrew Hill was such a highlight. It has such a, a narrow little road with the little switchbacks and sort of limestone walls along the side of the road. Like, I think that's a really unique feature that you sort of forget that's there, and just how lush and green parts of the course are. So I think, it offered many different things. You felt like you're racing in a city, but then you're going up Corkscrew Hill, which is covered in trees, and so it offered a really sort of unique, beautiful course.
Still regarding you, we have been talking about you earlier, and this is a big year, and you mentioned it yourself, it's a big year, and you mentioned about your competitors. The Olympics is around the corner. Is that added pressure for you as you try to qualify for the Olympics and hopefully one day bring home a medal for Bermuda and for yourself?
Of course, Tokyo is the big goal for me, and I would love to win a medal and perform well there. So for me, it's quite a complicated qualification process, so I won't go into too great of detail. But for me, based on my world ranking, it's not too difficult to secure a spot. For Bermuda, because I'm the only one at the moment racing on the World Triathlon Series circuit, so in that aspect, it's not too stressful qualifying. But the stressful part, obviously, is then performing on that day when everybody else wants to perform and everybody else is in fantastic shape. All aiming, everyone wants to finish first, second, or third. 55 people on the start line, only really 3 spots anybody wants. So that's the hardest part, and probably the more tricky thing to try to get right and plan for and prepare for.
Okay.
What kind of advice are you offering yourself, Flora, as you lead into that Olympic quest? What is the mantra, if there is one, that just keeps you completely focused?
That's a good question. I often get sort of these questions, and I'm like, what do I do? Well, you know what? Recently, my mantra has sort of been not to compare myself to others of where they are at the moment compared to where I am. So, and that's, not to get too fussed if I'm not as fit as that person as they are right now. Really thinking long term and having patience. So I think patience is sort of my mantra right now, which is hard because I like to race and I want to always be fit, but I must practice patience.
It sounds like good advice to yourself. Also, as you know, Tim Don was in Bermuda this weekend, who is a friend of yours, I believe, and he obviously had to practice quite a lot of patience as well during his time of a recent injury. So I guess it works.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, Tim, his accident was horrific, and the way he's been able to come back is just amazing. I mean, I spend quite a lot of time with a shoulder trainer, and I often found myself complaining about my little injury to him, and then I sort of had to almost knock myself. So Flora, come on, this man's getting too way worse. Look where he is. Not being so ridiculous. So there's always sort of perspective all around you. It's important, I guess, to recognize that.
Well, thank you very much, Flora, for joining us today on Inside Sports Talk Radio. I thank Vic Gabriel for making it all happen for us. We truly appreciate taking time out of your busy schedule, interviewing you today. And we look forward to speaking with you when you arrive home, because you only have 59 days left.
Oh, man, that's around the corner. But thank you very much for having me on the show.
And all the best for the start of the season.
Great.